Hello everyone, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 Insomnia Edition. We're here on the beach because as we were going from the transition from the Nautiloid ship to the beach, the game crashed. I had to do the final fight again. But we do have the Everburn Blade, and we have a bunch of the Void Bulbs and other stuff that we wanted to collect. And as I was escaping, we actually managed to kill more stuff on the way out, and we are already gained enough XP for level 2. Now, what I don't know, and what I should probably have figured out before all of this, is it going to be beneficial to me to use some of my resources as characters before then leveling up? Because you don't get a full heal when you level up, but do you get anything particular back, or is it simply not at all? Now, we don't need fish and camp supplies because we are never going to camp. We are never going to need food in order to take a long rest, so we'll ignore that for now, but right now we will go and wake up Shadowheart. Hello. She's there with her little trinket. Let's just wake her up. Oh, love. You're asleep.
You're alive. I'm alive. How is this possible?
I was hoping you might know that.
I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
Do you have any idea where we are?
No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
Shall we stay together?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. I can't think of better company.
Alright, let's go.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
Alright, then there were two. So if we check out Shadowheart, she has a supply pack that we can sell. A scroll of Detect Thoughts, scrolls of Revivify, and Mysterious Artifact, and a couple of potions of healing. She has a higher dex stat than a strength stat, so immediately we are going to go to our own inventory here. And does she have a short bow?
Can't afford to stay idle.
She does not, so we're going to give her one of our additional short bows. And I won't give her one of my 2 daggers yet, but as soon as we have an additional dagger, we will hand that over as well. So we're going to go up the beach, we're going to collect any supplies that will actually be useful for a party that is never sleeping. So ignore the food, take the gold. That's basically all we need to concern ourselves with. I got through my whole paladin run, never taking myrgrass or any of the other kinds of flowers or mushrooms that were hanging around, so I don't think there's any motivation to grab all of that stuff.
Wouldn't wish fresh water. There must be a settlement somewhere nearby.
I will take the water, mostly because we can use that for clearing surfaces of poison or fire, things of that ilk. Now somewhere along here we can find some thieves' tools and the like. As a rogue, we're going to be pretty proficient in that kind of thing ourselves, especially because... Can we check our expertises? Yeah, there we go. So we have expertise in stealth and sleight of hand, so picking locks will not be a problem, and we should be reasonably good at hiding from our foes. Nothing here.
Something good here, I hope.
Nothing there. Now, there's the ancient door, but I'm going to ignore that for now. What I am going to do is I'm going to get Shadowheart to... Okay, we Oh, Blessing of the Trickster. Yes. Grant advantage on stealth checks. To Zara. Not Zara. What's her name? It is Zara. Why did I think I called her something else?
Keep low and quiet. There is work to do.
Then we are going to try and get some sneak attacks off against these creatures up here.
Hope your soul is in good hands.
Alright, there's one. Okay, we are in initiative. Now, the goal here is basically going to be take as few hits as possible, because every piece of HP we lose, we can only restore with potions. This didn't really go as I would have liked it to, but it is what it is. Now, hide is a bonus action. And what I would like to do is bonus action offhand attack for the 1 HP here, and then main action hide. But we don't really get those options until level 2, because Rogue gets bonus action hide at level 2. So we'll just main hand attack here. And then in lieu of being able to make any better attacks, we're going to push back away from our foes. They are dashing down towards us. Number 2, I assume, is doing roughly the same thing. Now, if Shadowheart is within 5 feet of this Intellect Devourer, we can have sneak attack against it. Where is the other one? It's far enough away that I think it will have to dash in order to get to us. And 10 HP should be surmountable. Let's try a Sacred Flame. That is solid damage, so we are going to push forward with Shadowheart here. And in doing that,
Blood comes easy these days.
we should now be able to sneak attack against this enemy. And that is 2 down. Shadowheart, do you have any movement left? No.
Time to push my luck again.
Alright, they're dashing down. They have 9 HP left. Right, we're going to go for basically the exact same move here. Shadowheart pushes forward. Because they're within 5 feet of our foe, we get to sneak attack.
Perhaps our survival isn't such a distant prospect.
Nice and clean. Right, we're getting told there about the short rest mechanic. We have 2 of those available, and only 2, which is going to be a really careful decision about when we decide to take those short rests. I figure it will probably be after we have recruited Will the Warlock and used his 2 spell slots.
No one stopped me yet.
Right, one of these folks around here has a dagger, and I would very much like to give that dagger to Shadowheart, because she has a higher dexterity stat than a strength stat. She will hit more effectively with a dagger than a mace. I really thought it was one of these guys, but I guess not. I know one of them over here also has a rapier. That guy there, the abducted nobleman. I'm also interested in getting as many of the Mind Flayer items as possible. Some basic poison. We may well need to use that a lot more. There's a Void Bulb that I wanted to see. And a Potion of Speed. And here 5 gold, a dagger. We can give that to Shadowheart. A rapier, silver locket, and a lemon. We do not need the lemon. Ditch the lemon immediately. Are we proficient with the rapier? We are. It's 1d8 plus 3 damage instead of 1d4 plus 3 damage. We won't be able to dual wield the daggers for a bonus action offhand attack, but I think that's fine. Right, we're going to keep moving around. Actually, is there anything up high? There's another guy here. We should definitely loot them. A spiked bulb and another potion of speed. Anything else? I don't see anything else. Okay. We're going to keep moving around the coast here. Usually these intellect devourers don't have much on them. They are kind of lacking for pockets, I suppose. Take the gold, leave the fish. Then this one is locked. We can lockpick it.
Trouble now.
Shadowheart can offer us guidance. A 28 for a DC 5 chest. A leather helmet gives us +1 on our dexterity saving throws. We'll take that immediately. Although I'm not going to show the graphic because I'm fond of my little bonce of hair. Yeah, any ability to be better at our dexterity saving throws will be one for the better. Right. Here is our future partner in crime.
Something's on my mind.
Hurry! I've got one of those brain things cornered.
Do you now?
There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Yes, yes I can.
There. Can you see it?
Not with my wisdom I can't.
Not a sound. Not if you want to keep that darling neck of yours. And you, keep your distance. No need for this to get messy.
I need her alive. Stow that blade, or I'll show you just how messy things can get.
Ah, promises, promises. But I have other business, I'm afraid. Now, I saw you on the ship, didn't I? Nod?
Yes, yes. You saw me on the ship.
And now you're going to tell me exactly what you and those tentacled freaks did to me.
You got it backwards. I'm just like you, buddy.
Don't lie to me.
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm, the light, the fear.
What was that? What's going
on? Right, we have incredibly good persuasion from our high charisma, persuasion proficiency, and guidance is still in effect, so I think we should be alright here. Yes. We can talk this through, dude. You and your fancy padded armor.
You're not one of them.
Correct.
They took you. Just the same as me. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
I still feel like the voices and the mouth movements aren't quite as in sync as they used to be. Glad to see we're all caught up now.
Indeed we are. Please, allow me to introduce myself. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
Ah, as was I.
Is that so? We clearly move in different circles.
It's a big city.
So, do you know anything about these worms?
As much as you.
I suppose it's not exactly common knowledge. These worms are already affecting me. I can feel it. Now, what to do about it?
Join me.
You know, I was ready to go this alone. But maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
Alright. Astarion joins us. Also a rogue. Also ready to level up. 8 strength, 17 dex, 14 con, 13 intelligence, 13 wisdom, 10 charisma. Right, down there is a stone with an ornate chest behind it, but we are not ready to get that without Lae'zel in tow, probably. Now, before we do that,
Still alive, so
there
that's
is the
progress.
matter of
I don't
the
need any
boar.
attention right now. Let's see what you're hiding.
Go again on a sneak attack.
Can't risk being in open view. Free for the taking.
Good, that is 10 XP for us. No, it's not, it's some other amount and 10 damage that we did.
How much further can I go?
Either way, I will take it. Now, through here,
These boots have seen
in the
everything.
past, before this patch, there was a conglomeration of people trying to tend to what? Oh, there it is. The
Have here.
dying mind flayer here. But this time they seem to be all alone, and I'm perfectly happy with just having them not be our problem anymore.
Death is too good for it.
Void Bulb is an excellent thing to have. Right, let's just check our way through here, avoiding all of the fire surfaces. Any kind of flame could be the end of us.
What's inside?
All excellent supplies. Right, down there is where we had that little fight a moment ago. Up here. Oh, we're not... Oh, I think the other two are stealthing, are they? Yes. Right. They should pathfind to us without walking through any fire. Fingers crossed.
Need to find a way forward.
Some dead goblins.
over there. Worth checking for supplies, maybe.
Now, there's going to be a bunch of stuff here that eventually we can get round to selling. But the question becomes, how invested am I in carrying around all that extra weight just to sell off food and the like? But we can go up there over the fire, but I'm just going to go around this direction. And at the roadside cliffs, we will meet another friendly face.
You're alive. That's unexpected. Last I saw you, you were lying in a crucible's worth of blood. An intellect devourer nibbling at your ear. Glad to see my eyes deceive me. I'm Gale. Well met.
Hello, Gale. Well met. You were on the ship as well?
The very same. A traumatizing experience, if an instructive one.
And you mean the eye thing, yeah?
Yes. The ocular penetration by an illithid tadpole, which will end with our souls being snuffed like strands of weave caught in dead magic.
What is
Not to
dead
mention,
magic?
You're staring at me like a Rashimi at a blackboard.
What's a Rashimi?
You're no wizard, are you?
No, I'm no wizard.
Pity. But that'll have to wait. The primary need now is a healer. I take it you recall the insertion of the parasite?
Yes, it was unpleasant.
Are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it'll turn us into mind flayers? A process known as ceremorphosis? It is to be avoided.
Well then, let's do something about that.
Healer either. Powerful cleric, maybe?
I am not.
Then we'll have to find one. And fast. You and I are in a whole lot of trouble. We need help, and I'm not sure where we'll find it in this wilderness. How about we embark on the quest for a healer together?
That sounds like a plan.
Most excellent. Then, without further ado, let's be off. Besides, looks like you keep some interesting company. A woman with shadows for eyes, deep as the dark lake. Pleasure, madam.
Is it indeed? We'll see.
Her eyes are not that dark. Right. Gale, now in the club. Now, what I want is to come up here and rescue Lae'zel. And if we're going to do that, we should probably level up to level 2. I guess you're probably not going to get short rests back on a level up or anything else, because you can just use the resources you have when you get there. So let's take a minute to level up. So we're going to get Cunning Action Dash and Cunning Action Disengage as a rogue. We would also give ourselves the ability to Cunning Action Hide as a bonus action,
Don't touch me.
as would be the rules in regular 5th edition. Astarion the Rogue is going to get exactly the same. Then Shadowheart the Cleric, we get Channel Divinity charges. They come back on short or long rest, so we should get 3 of those total. The Turn Undead action. And then we also get our Invoke Duplicity as a Channel Divinity. Summon an illusion to distract your enemies. And we can change our prepared spells at this time. Now, we're not going to get to cast these very often. So, okay. Technically, the way I play the game per my own 5th edition rule set that I like to include to try and make it a bit closer to tabletop, is you can only change your spells after a long rest. Like, change which spells you have prepared. Now, I'm very happy to change them on a level up because that's its own thing. But theoretically then, after this moment, I'm not going to be able to change my spells apart from future level ups. So, with that in mind, I'm going to do that. Right, that's everything. And then Gale.
Air is ripe with magic.
Evocation or Abjuration. I think Evocation just has to be the play here. As for which spells to add to our spell book, it's a great question. Really, you want spells that are going to do a lot for a long time. So those would be spells that require concentration. But really, Magic Missile and what else? I would prefer things that induce saving throws, because you can't miss with those. Something can make the save and take half damage, but with things like Chromatic Orb, if you spend a spell slot and you miss, then it's an entirely wasted spell slot. So let's take Burning Hands then. Then we can change what we have prepared. So Magic Missiles, Mage Armor, we will not take. We're not going to take Mage Armor, because we're not going to sleep. We only need to cast it once, and if we have one spell scroll of it, that's all the Mage Armoring we need. So, let's do that. Alright, so that is level 2 done. Ready for the rescuing of Lae'zel.
Never mind. These boots have seen everything.
But before we get there, we can come around this little cropping here. And actually, do I want to wait for Lae'zel to do this? Because we are not very strong. So the jump from here to here is actually quite high. So we'll wait for Lae'zel for that. Over there is the overgrown ruins. Now, the other thing we have to ask ourselves is, how do we want to attempt to rescue Lae'zel? Because if I can do it without a fight, that means there's no risk to my very limited and precious spell slots. So I'm just going to change some of Shadowheart's things here. There's resistance, guidance, sacred flame. Level, 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 level. Channel divinity, level 1, level 1. Then we're going to go guidance on Zara. And we're going to come say hello to these folks.
Zora was right. Yellow as a toad and twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
And if it escapes, how will you... Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
You again. Get rid of them.
Deception. This creature is dangerous. Get out of here. Leave it to me. Right, DC 10. We have +5 and guidance for +6 through 9. We can also give ourselves advantage on the check using our friend's cantrip. Enchant a non-hostile creature to gain advantage on a charisma check against it. Once the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed and might accuse the spellcaster. Now, this can be an issue in some instances, but these two should hopefully just go away. So, advantage is going to be much better for us. And thank goodness. That could have gone terribly.
She's right. Let's go. We need to check out that blast.
Alright. I'm going to let them go on their way.
Gawking. Get me down.
Now that they're out of earshot, of course. Right, so they're going to go. They're on the friend's timer.
Observe and listen. You'll hear goblins before you see them.
I'm hoping they're going to disappear. Yeah, they've despawned. Right, so now we can get Shadowheart down. Sorry, Lae'zel. If you didn't have a bow already, there's one on the ground here.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
Come on then.
You are full up. Dismiss your weakest warrior.
Right, for now, I'm going to let Gale go.
How can I help?
Remain at camp for a while.
I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be in the camp then, idling away the hours.
So his spell slots are very precious. So I'm going to try and save them for as long as possible. I'd like you to join
You
me.
have made an ally from Kresh Kalir. Few know such fortune.
Gale approves and
Lae'zel.
Shadowheart
Trust
disapproves.
your judgment, but I won't trust her. Not until I've gotten the measure of her.
You've a sharp tongue, elf. Would that your mind proved its equal.
Half elf. I suppose the finer details are lost on a creature like you.
Ladies,
The
ladies.
Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A creche must be near. We will ask this Zoru where he has seen my kin.
Right. Lozelle is here and ready to level up as well. So, we're going to jump into our inventory. We're going to hand off the Everburn Blade to her. Currently just has a regular long sword.
Action, not reaction.
So the Everburn Blade is 2d6 plus 3 slashing damage plus 1d4 fire damage. It's heavy, it's two-handed, we can't use a shield with it, but I think it's going to be good for our needs moving forward. Great weapon fighting. Whenever you roll a 1 or a 2 on a damage die for an attack with one of two-handed melee weapons, a die is re-rolled once. So that counts on our Everburn Blade. Any 1s or 2s we roll on our d6s will get re-rolled. Let's level her up. We get Action Surge. Push yourself beyond your limits. Gain an extra action for 1 a turn. Now, when we use that, it's going to be very specific because... excuse me? Because we get to do that in combat and it comes back on a short rest. So there will be 3 whole occasions where we get 1 additional action.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Right.
All right.
Shall we
One day I'll catch
go
a
and
break.
have one last fight before calling it a day? Because it's been a lot of recruiting people so far. Let's go have some excitement. Lozelle looks ridiculous, wobbling that sword back and forth. Right, from here, I would like Shadowheart to give the Blessing of the Trickster to Zara. And we're all going to approach
Have a lot on my mind.
this temple over here.
Well, in it. If not over, then through. Softer than a whisper.
So what we want to do is we want to get through this without drawing the attention of anybody we don't absolutely have to. So if we can go in alone, we will. In fact, I'm going to come all the way across here. I'm going to bring these guys a little bit further in together.
Best think ahead, or I'm lost. On my way.
And from here, oh god, do we have a clear shot
Clean and leave us nothing.
of this rope? No, because we can see our line here. Let's go into turn-based mode. So now our enemies aren't going to be wandering around of their own volition during the time that passes by. And we're going to shoot this coiled rope. We're going to bonus action hide as a rogue.
Breathe quiet. Move with care.
And then we're going to leave turn-based mode.
Hells. Pity you aren't as good at grave robbing as you are at excuses.
This has not gone well. This is unideal, given that I was hoping these two would just be dead now.
Should mind my step.
We're still stealthed and hidden. But there is no rope to attack now.
You'll die a bloody pauper unless you take a few risks.
Well, that is not ideal.
Should mind my step. All right. Time to skulk
We
about.
could try and talk our way out of this instead as a plan B to a fight. We did give ourselves high charisma for a reason. So, let's get everyone unstealthing. Shadowheart.
Some blades always sharp.
Guidance for Zara. And
Pity you aren't as good at grave robbing as you
let's go in with our words.
Time to press ahead.
You're both twice as tall as me, but have half the bloody backbone.
But we don't know what that thing even is. And what about the crypt?
I'm telling you, it's a ship. And the crypt can wait. Mari and Barton have been trying to break in for days. Now we... Stop! Got ourselves competition already. That's our ship.
Persuasion. That ship is full of monsters. I wouldn't go near it. Deception. I think the ship's an invasion force. Run while you can. Intimidation. The only thing you owe is your life. Leave before I take that too. So we are just as adept in any of these checks. So let's just go with some persuasion. We already have guidance. We have our proficiency. We have our charisma. Oh god. We got there. Thank you, guidance.
Well, in that case, come on you lot. No point in getting killed. Second worm gets the cheese and all.
Second mouse gets the cheese, no?
Nobody's getting any damn cheese. Now move it.
Now, part of me was hoping,
It would have been quicker to kill them.
hey, if the trap had worked, I would have. I was hoping to pick their corpses clean for their stuff, just because Astarian's currently in padded armor and it's not quite ideal, but we'll keep doing what we can with what we have. Now, we can pick through the rest of what we find here. Then, now that we have Lae'zel, we can go do a couple of little grabby bits. Then we'll be ready to get in here, I think. Is there anything? Oh god, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
What's in here?
Nothing. Right, everyone off of that little cliff top. I don't need you all getting yourselves killed. Nothing in there. What happened? Is this a joke? Oh god! Astarian, this is definitely not where you're supposed to be. Okay, well, I think we're going to leave this adventure for next time because, oh boy, this is not what was planned. For now, thank you ever so much for watching and joining me on this Baldur's Gate Insomnia edition. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, you can put those down below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.